Namo Buddhaya, my friend. That morning, the rain wasn't gentle. It came down like someone was pouring water from a rooftop. I was rushing through a narrow alley, half blind behind my raincoat, phone vibrating with reminders that I was about to be late. My mind was on one thing: move faster, don't mess up, don't get yelled at. Then I saw a thin black line trembling in the gutter. At first, I thought it was dirt, until it moved. It was a colony of ants, swept into clusters, clinging to each other like tiny living rafts. The runoff was strong, muddy, and fast. A few more seconds and they would disappear under the current. I hit the brakes hard. Water splashed my shoes. People hurried past without looking down. And I stood there, caught between two worlds. The world that measures life in deadlines, and the world that measures life in compassion. I felt something simple but serious rise in my chest. This is a choice. If you've ever felt too busy to be kind, stay with me. This story is for you. And if you believe even small acts matter, please like, subscribe, and share this video so this gentle Buddhist wisdom can reach someone who's quietly struggling. Today, I didn't stop because I'm naturally patient. I stopped because something in me refused to pretend I hadn't seen them. The street was busy, my phone kept buzzing, and the part of my mind that worships deadlines whispered, "Keep going. It's not your problem." But another part, quieter, older, whispered, "If you can help, why wouldn't you?" I crouched beside the gutter. Cold water slapped my wrists. I had no tools, no gloves, no plan. Just a few stones, wet soil, and a fragile willingness to try. I lined the pebbles into a small ridge, and the current laughed at my effort, broke through, pulled the ants downstream in a dark ripple. For a second, I felt that familiar helplessness. The same feeling we get when life moves too fast and we can't save what matters. Then I tried again. I pressed mud into the cracks, widened the barrier, and angled the flow away from their path. I slid a leaf into place like a tiny bridge. Slowly, the clusters loosened. One ant climbed up, then another. Soon they were spilling onto dry ground, scattering into safety. I was still late. But my heart arrived somewhere important. The truth that compassion is not a grand event. It's a small decision, repeated, until it becomes the direction of your life. Watching them disappear into safety, I remembered an old Buddhist teaching told in many forms. A teacher once sensed that his young disciple's life would end in 8 days. He didn't announce it like a curse because fear can poison the heart. The disciple, unaware of any deadline, continued his days simply, walking, practicing, living with an ordinary mind. And then, on a path near a field, he noticed water rushing toward an ant nest. The easy choice was to pass by. The reasonable choice was to say, "Nature is nature." But he stopped. He shaped wet soil into a small wall, redirected the stream, and made a dry escape for the ants. Patiently, quietly, with no audience and no pride. When the 8th day arrived, it passed. The disciple was still alive. Not because kindness is a magic trick, but because Buddhist wisdom points to something practical. Karma is not a fixed sentence. It's a flow. Change the cause and the future changes too. Sometimes one compassionate action becomes a turning point you never planned. If this idea touches you, please support the channel, like, subscribe, and share this video with one person who needs hope today. These small clicks help this kind of gentle, healing content reach people who are silently struggling. And now, let's take the lesson further. What makes a good deed truly powerful is not its size, but the heart behind it. Here's the deeper layer. The power wasn't in saving ants, it was in the quality of the mind that saved them. In Buddhism, compassion isn't measured by the size of what you help. It's measured by whether your heart can stay open when nothing is gained. The smallest beings are often the greatest teachers because they offer no reward, no gratitude, no reputation. They simply ask, will you care when it costs you something? That's why the disciples' act mattered. He didn't help to change fate, because he didn't even know fate was in question. He helped because suffering was right in front of him. This is what makes goodness clean, non-self. When you do good without needing to be seen, the first result appears immediately, an inner quiet. Not excitement, not pride, just a soft, steady peace like the mind has stopped fighting itself for a moment. And this is practical for daily life. You don't need money to plant good karma. You can soften a harsh conversation. You can hold your tongue before it becomes a weapon. You can offer a chair, a smile, a sincere, "Are you okay?" These are small bridges over rushing waters. The world becomes lighter not through grand speeches, but through ordinary people choosing tenderness in ordinary moments. So if you've been wondering whether life is already decided, let this story leave you with a calmer truth. The past has weight, yes, but the present still has direction. In Buddhist wisdom, karma is not a prison, it's a pattern. And patterns can change when you change the causes you plant today. You don't have to wait for a perfect moment to begin. Begin where you are, with what you have, with the kindness you can afford right now. Here's a simple practice you can try tonight. When emotion rises, take 10 slow breaths before you respond. Then ask one mirror question. Will my next action reduce suffering or multiply it? If you've already caused harm, repair gently. Apologize without self-hatred. Learn without collapsing. This is not weakness. This is training. This is how compassion becomes a skill, not just a feeling. And one more thing. Don't underestimate small goodness. A message that says, "I'm here," can be a bridge. A moment of patience can save a relationship. A quiet act no one notices can still save your heart. If this video brought you warmth, please like, subscribe, and share it. Your support helps this channel keep creating gentle, healing content. And in the comments, write, "Today, I choose compassion."